Today we will, go beyond our topic. We will extend our topic. Yesterday, on the last sense, we have discussed that what is wildlife, how the wildlife is facing, I mean, why it needs conservation, and why the wildlife is important, and what are the threats which are faced by this wildlife. Okay. So what will happen that if there will be the depletion in the wildlife, okay, depletion means that there will be the loss in the wildlife, then what will happen, the food chain and the ecosystem will get unbalanced. ठीक है. How it will get unbalanced? Suppose if one of any of the organisms, it will get removed from the food chain, then the whole food chain will get disturbed, and ultimately due to the disturbance of the food chain, the ecosystem will also get disturbed. ठीक है. And again, when you are depleting the wildlife, it is going to affect the biodiversity, and you already know that every organism which is present, it has got some economic, and we have discussed in the last time that there are number of plant products, animal products which are economically useful. Okay. So if you are going to destruct this wildlife, then you are going to have economic losses also. Okay. And similarly, along with all these losses, there will be the loss to the human life also. Fine. Because human beings will not be able to get flora and fauna on which their lives are being dependent. So if for a longer period of time they have been deprived from all these things, so there will be the loss of wildlife also, or human life also. Okay. Because when the wildlife is disturbed, the forest will get disturbed, and they are the main source of a number of resources on which the human beings are being dependent. Okay. And loss of genetic information. There will be, of course, when the organism will get lost, along with them, and whatever genetic information they have stored within themselves, it will also eradicate with the time. So what happens? That wildlife helps in maintaining the balance in the nature. Okay. And due to the destruction of carnivores, insectivores, what will happen? The herbivores population will increase, and this herbivore population will affect the forest vegetation. Okay. So how it is going to, the ecosystem is going to disturb? You can give this example. If you will kill the carnivores, if you will kill insectivores, that will lead to abruptly increase in the population of the herbivores. Okay. And wildlife, how it is related to economic value, because wildlife is also related to tourism. Okay. Foreigners, a lot of foreigners visit to your country to visit a large number of natural sanctuaries, natural parks, and so this brings, it is also, wildlife is also linked to tourism. So it is going to affect you economically if you are going to deplete the percentage of area under wildlife. Okay. So on the other hand, as far as this genetic information is concerned, so there are lots of biologists, naturalists. So these people, they study the morphology, anatomy, physiology, behavior of the wildlife animals. Okay. So if you will delete this wildlife again, then these scientists will not be able to study these characteristics of the wildlife. Okay. And wildlife also provides you a large number of economic profits, in terms of there are certain number of recreational activities, sports, which are linked to the wildlife. Fine. So there is a lot of importance of wildlife, as well as in a culture of a country also. It is well depicted in the art, literature, religion. So wildlife has got a very wide scope. ठीक है. So therefore the conservation of the wildlife is needed. So now the I mean these species which are found in these I mean क्या कहते हैं wildlife or they have been divided into on the basis of concept of threatened species. Okay. So some of these species they are endangered species. Endangered species means those species which are on the verge of extinction. Okay. Which may not survive if you will not give them protection. Okay. So they will I mean their number have been decreased to a very little amount, and they are going to get extinct very soon in the future if you will not give them protection. So another type of species are called as vulnerable species. Vulnerable species means that these species will come into the category of endangered species if you will not give them protection. Means their number is getting reduced, so they also need certain kind of protection. Rare species, again another term which you are going to use when you will describe this threatened species. Rare species means those species which are found in very small numbers. Okay, and they are present at the specific area in the world. Okay, so these species are not endangered and these species are not vulnerable, but as their number is very small and they are present in a specific part of the world, so they also need protection. And the threatened species are those species which are it is a general term which you use for rare species, vulnerable species and the endangered species. Okay. So under amphibians and reptiles, the example is varanus, and then you have crocodilus, and then you have Gavelius, means gharial. And in birds, you can write Indian bustard, great Indian bustard. Mammals, there are lots of species like lion tail macaque, and then tiger, lion, then you have Indian wolf. Okay.